day, everyone. I am Christine, the moderator for this webinar. I welcome everyone to today's webinar, Vendor Audit Best Practices for FDA-Regulated Computer Systems in Cloud Environments and Using Software as a Service Solutions. I would like to introduce our presenter for today, Caroline Triano. Caroline Triano has more than 40 years of experience in pharmaceutical, medical device, tobacco, and other FDA-regulated industries. I would now like to hand over the floor to the speaker. Over to you, Caroline.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Carolyn Troiano. We're going to be talking about best practices for auditing a vendor of computer systems regulated by FDA. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to cover a little bit about regulatory oversight from FDA, computer system validation, 21 CFR Part 11 for electronic records and signatures, and data integrity compliance. We'll talk about more specifically computer system validation and computer software assurance, the newer guidance drafted by FDA in September of 2022. We'll cover waterfall versus agile as a software development lifecycle methodology, SDLC, cloud services and software as a service, and vendor audit preparation and execution and the post-audit considerations. We'll follow it with a Q&A. So as we go along, we'll highlight the areas where you should be checking with your vendors. So everything is based on predicate rules, the GXPs, where X is a variable, and whether it's manufacturing, laboratory, or clinical areas. And the FDA operates on key premises to always keep in mind, if you didn't document something, you didn't do it. You must have objective evidence of anything that you do. The areas most at risk include security and access, testing and validation, training and expertise, and documentation. Now, the guidance for validation was issued at first in 1983. Now, computer system validation, it's critical for data integrity, product quality, documented evidence about the intended use of the system. So you want to negotiate with the vendors up front and make sure you're taking advantage of any testing they've done. So typically during validation, you start with a plan. At a high level, your users tell you what they want the system to do. The technical and procedural controls should be documented, and these should be considered requirements that are tested during validation. Now, with the user requirements, this is at a very high level, defined by users in business terminology. There are many types of business requirements. This is a list for discussion. It's not all inclusive, but it gives you a way of starting out and having a conversation about what you want the system to do. Now, with Part 11 compliance, here we have definitions from FDA for electronic record. Now, when you're doing critical thinking in stage 1, think about the intended use of the software. What are potential risks? What risk identification mitigation activities are in place? And how are you going to define them and understand them? That's a conversation with your vendor. Now, with COTS software, commercial off-the-shelf packages, these are typically deployed on-premise servers, and most life science companies have had these for a long time. In future direction, security and compliance of validation can be increased by using modern automation techniques. So that completes the presentation.
Thank you, Caroline, for the great presentation. Thank you, Caroline. That concludes the session for today. Thank you, everyone, for participating. You may all disconnect now and have a great weekend.
Thank you so much. Everybody have a great day, great weekend.